The Mad Titan, a name that strikes fear across galaxies. A warlord, a conqueror, and a master tactician who has crushed civilizations with nothing but his bare hands. But today we're stripping away the Infinity Gauntlet. No reality warping, no snapping half the universe away. Just Thanos at his peak physical form, armed only with his strength, skill, and brilliant mind. Now let's pit Thanos against the heavy hitters of the Invincible world. The Viltrumites, Nolan, Thrag, Anissa, they're basically living weapons. Thrag alone ripped through his own people like paper and made Omni-Man, who's already nightmare fuel, look like a rookie. Thanos could definitely trade hands with them. His durability, strength, and sheer willpower put him in the same league. But here's the difference. Viltrumites fight like predators. They don't just punch. They rip jaws off, tear out guts, and crush skulls mid-battle. Thanos isn't squeamish, but the Viltrumites? They play dirty. So how would it go down? Against a single Viltrumite, say Nolan, Thanos could hold his ground and maybe even take the win after a long bloody brawl. Against Throg, though, that's a different story. Thrag's insane speed and animalistic savagery give him the edge, but Thanos' unbreakable endurance could drag it into a stalemate, neither walks away from clean. And then there's Mark Grayson, Invincible himself. His growth curve is absurd. Every fight makes him stronger, every loss makes him sharper. Thanos would absolutely humble him at first, no question. But if Mark lived long enough, he'd start to adapt, and that's when it gets interesting. Thanos thrives on challenge. He might actually push Mark, mentor him in his own twisted way, just to mold him into a worthy opponent before the real showdown. Verdict? Thanos fits frighteningly well in the Invincible universe. He could crush most Viltrumites, stalemate Thrag, and forge Mark into something even more dangerous. But without the gauntlet, it's never a clean sweep. The Invincible universe wouldn't break Thanos, but it wouldn't bow to him easily either. Mortal Kombat isn't a place for clean fights. It's a realm of killers. These warriors don't just win, they dismantle you. Shao Kahn doesn't stop at smashing bones. He rips out your soul while taunting your corpse. Raiden bends the storm itself to his will, striking with divine fury. Scorpion will drag you into the Netherrealm, burn you alive, and bring you back just to do it again. And above them stand the true monsters, Onaga, Shinnok, Kronika, and fire god Liu Kang, entities who warp time, death, and reality itself. So how does the Mad Titan get along? Against Shao Kahn, it's hammer versus Titan. Khan's intimidation and sorcery don't shake Thanos. His mind and body are too strong. If it's a test of brute strength and endurance, Thanos breaks the Emperor down. But if Khan lands a soul steel ritual, even Thanos could fall. Raiden brings speed and godly lightning, but Thanos is an endurance machine. The longer the fight drags, the more the Titan pushes forward, dragging Raiden into a war of attrition he can't win. Scorpion is different. Thanos crushes him in direct combat, no question. But Scorpion's curse means he never stays down. Kill him once, he comes back. Kill him twice, he comes back angrier. Thanos wins the battle but never ends the war. Onaga, the Dragon King, is the first real nightmare. He tanked Raiden's self-destruction and kept walking. His regeneration, necromancy, and overwhelming power turned the fight into a marathon. Thanos may not survive. Unless the Titan finds a way to end him fast, Onaga simply outlasts him. Shinnok without his amulet is nothing to Thanos. With it, he bends reality itself and can erase the Titan with sorcery he can't brute force. And then there's Kronika, Keeper of Time. She doesn't fight in the arena, she rewrites eras. Thanos' strength means nothing when she can reset the board entirely. Finally, fire god Liu Kang, the fusion of thunder and flame. In a straight-up fight, Thanos can challenge him. But when Liu Kang taps into his time-bending, reality-warping godhood, the Titan finally faces someone who doesn't just beat him, they control the very fight itself. Verdict? Thanos would dominate the tournament, crushing ninjas, assassins, and even most gods through sheer willpower and brutality. But against Mortal Kombat's true titans, Onaga, Kronika, and Fire God, Liu Kang, he finally finds limits he can't shatter. Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball operates on a completely different scale. Even early DBZ fighters were casually busting moons, feats that in most universes would make them gods in their own right. Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta, in the Saiyan saga, were already wielding destructive power that could shake planets, and that was just the starting line. By the time Goku and Vegeta hit their god forms, their battles transcend mortal comprehension. Clashes with Beerus threaten to unravel the very fabric of the cosmos. They're not just fighting to the death, they're fighting on a stage where entire realities tremble from the shockwaves of their blows. That's the bar Thanos is walking into. Against the Saiyan duo in Super Saiyan Blue, Thanos could hang in the short term. His toughness means he isn't erased by a single Kamehameha, and his tactical genius allows him to read opponents, bait them, and punish openings. Thanos is not a brute who charges blindly. He's a warlord who has conquered countless civilizations. In that sense, he's the kind of villain who could humble Piccolo, dismantle Krillin, and even give base Vegeta a reality check. The Mad Titan would thrive in the early sagas, cutting through weaker fighters with ease, and his reputation as an unstoppable force would spread across the universe. But the deeper he goes, the worse it gets. DBZ isn't about static strength, it's about constant escalation. Goku doesn't just fight, he evolves mid-battle. Every exchange, every near-death, every clash becomes fuel for his growth. Ultra Instinct isn't about hitting harder, it's about becoming untouchable. For a strategist like Thanos, that's a nightmare. Every feint, every counter, every carefully placed strike simply slides past as Goku moves like a living force of nature. Suddenly, the Titan's greatest weapon, his mind, is stripped away, because what good is planning when your enemy simply can't be touched? Even without Goku or Vegeta, DBZ has monsters like Cell and Majin Buu, beings who regenerate endlessly, who warp reality itself, who feed on chaos and destruction as if it were air. Thanos could scheme, endure, and maybe even dominate the early arcs. But once the god-tier fighters enter, once regeneration, fusion, and divine transformations hit the battlefield, he's swimming in an ocean without end. No matter how brilliant or unbreakable he seems, the DBZ universe simply doesn't stop escalating. In Marvel, Thanos is inevitability. His very name carries weight as the conqueror who bends destiny to his will. But in Dragon Ball, inevitability belongs to the Saiyans. They are written to surpass every wall, to climb every impossible mountain, to break every so-called limit. And that's the brutal truth. Without the gauntlet, the Mad Titan eventually finds himself outpaced, outgrown, and overwhelmed in a universe where limits are made only to be broken.